SAP systems use the following interface technologies as listed in the figure: ALE, BAPIs, Common Program Interface Communication or CPIC, Electronic Data Interchange or EDI, Hypertext Transfer Protocol or HTTPS, Logical Unit 6.2 or LU 6.2, RFC, Object Linking and Embedding or OLE, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol or SMTP, Simple Object Access Protocol or SOAP, Transmission Control Protocol / Internet Protocol or TCP/IP, Extensible Markup Language or XML. The RFC interface is an SAP interface protocol based on CPIC and TCP/IP and simplifies the programming of communication processes between various systems. RFCs enable you to call and execute predefined functions in a remote system or within the same system. RFCs manage the communication process, transfer of parameters within a system or between systems, and error handling. If you want to remotely start external programs, you need an RFC interface outside the SAP system. This could be, for example, a Dynamic Link Library or DLL. Every RFC interface is bidirectional, which enables external programs to use RFC to access functions in SAP systems. Note, all function modules, including those that are remote-enabled, are created together with their import and export parameters by using the function builder. To call the function builder, choose Tools, ABAP Workbench, Development, Function Builder, or use Transaction Code SE37. The figure shows the calling system in which an RFC destination named DEST has been created. Do not confuse an RFC destination in transaction SM59 with an SAP system because an RFC connection can only point to one client in an SAP system. These connections are also referred to as connections between logical systems. You can have at least as many RFC connections between two systems as there are clients in the target system. Because you can specify a logon user for the destination in each RFC connection, you can also access clients in the target system several times, for example, with a different logon user each time. If you need a bidirectional RFC connection between two systems, that is, you need a system called to also execute RFC modules in the calling system, then you must set up an equivalent RFC connection in the system that is called. The function to be executed in the target system is named. The name of the target must refer to one of the RFC connections available. When you are creating an RFC connection, you must specify logon data for the target system or enter the logon parameters when you start the RFC. Exporting and importing are used to pass parameters to the target function and to receive the parameters returned by the target function. The function called in the target system is executed using the user ID entered for the connection.
BAPIs are used in various contexts for linking business processes across system boundaries, for example when using ALE, integrating various solutions in the framework of SAP Business Suite, connecting an SAP system to the Internet, connecting to external programs.
An example of when cross-system business processes are used is when two companies collaborate closely and send joint orders to a vendor. The business IT system of the companies needs to communicate with each other to consolidate the quantities to be ordered. In this case, the business process not only crosses system boundaries but also company boundaries. An additional example of when cross-system business processes are used is in the transfer of a limited quantity of specific data. For example, the electronic transfer of account statement data from a bank to a company. Developments in the past suggest that the significance of cross-system business processes continues to increase rapidly.
ALE is a means of creating and operating distributed applications. The basic concept of ALE is to ensure the operation of a distributed, yet integrated system landscape. This involves business-controlled message exchange by using consistent data across loosely linked application systems. The applications are integrated through synchronous and asynchronous communication, not through a central database. Systems that use ALE to exchange data can belong to the same company, or they may belong to separate companies. One of the characteristics of ALE is that different systems are linked in business terms through secure and consistent data transfer. You can also describe ALE in terms of the elements: who exchanges data, which data is exchanged, when, with whom the data is exchanged, and by what means. We identify data within an SAP system by using a business object and its business application programming interface, or BAPIs. A BAPI is a method of a business object. For example, the material master record. A permissible method could be creating or changing the material master data. BAPIs enable you to edit all data belonging to an object. The IDOC format describes the structure of intermediate documents. There are various kinds of IDOC formats for different types of data to be exchanged. ALE can also be used to transfer data in an agreed XML format. You can select your preferred data transfer technology within the constraints imposed by a system. For example, you can transfer data by RFC or using HTTP or HTTPS.
There are few restrictions when trying to link systems. The systems being linked must have the technical capability to receive the communications, that is, RFC enabled and HTTP enabled, and interpret the format transferred, that is, IDOC or XML. SAP systems of different releases can be linked using ALE.
SAP NetWeaver AS is a development platform for web services, which is an amenity that provides an application programming interface or API. In practice, the web service is made available through an Internet protocol, and the application using the service is operated using a web browser. Note that this is not the actual definition of a web service. Web services are the technical basis for making the functions of an application directly available. The existing function of an application can be addressed using standardized access protocols, and content can be exchanged in a structured form. Cross-application functions can also be developed flexibly. The combination of several granular services, in the sense of self-contained business scenarios, is called an enterprise service.
With SAP NetWeaver, the development and configuration tools for web services have been considerably enhanced for SAP NetWeaver AS ABAP as well as for SAP NetWeaver AS Java. Using SAP NetWeaver, we can accomplish the scenario shown in the figure as follows. A web service provided or implemented on SAP NetWeaver AS can be published to the services registry, where it can be found by a potential consumer. The use of web services is supported by various applications of SAP NetWeaver. The implementation of web services is fully supported in the ABAP and Java development tools. Web service consumers can call the web service in the provider system. The contract for the parameters to be passed and the result to be returned is the WSDL of the web service. WSDL is published by the provider and is the basis for both implementing the web service itself and calling the service. For web service consumers, WSDL is always needed to generate the proxy classes according to the web service interface.
The configuration of endpoints is also applicable on the consumer side. On the consumer side, you need to assign runtime configuration settings. A consumer can have several logical ports. A web service call can be performed successfully only if logical ports and endpoints match with respect to their settings. For instance, it is not possible to call a web service with user and password authentication if only single sign-on tickets are allowed by the endpoint configuration.
The shift in architecture to enterprise SOA is comparable to past architecture shifts, such as the transition from mainframe architecture to client-server architecture. SOA applications allow an organization to leverage its existing IT investments. Functionality can be exposed from existing applications in a standard way and can be reused in SOA applications. SOA is an architecture that is not tied to a specific technology and may be implemented using a wide range of technologies, such as the Distributed Component Object Model, or DCOM, the Common Object Request Broker Architecture, or CORBA, and web services. SOA is an architecture that uses loosely coupled services to support business process requirements. It is an environment where resources are made available as independent services that can be accessed without knowing the underlying platform implementation.
SAP enables its customers to standardize and innovate on one platform as follows. SAP Business Suite provides ready-to-run business processes for 24 industries. New features and support for new business processes are continually added. For example, with enhancement packages that deliver innovation without disruption. SAP Business Suite is service-enabled by shipping more than 2,800 enterprise services. Using the SAP NetWeaver Process Integration or SAP NetWeaver PI, customers can leverage enterprise services. The SAP NetWeaver Composition Environment or SAP NetWeaver CE is one type of use of SAP NetWeaver Application Server or AS Java and helps create flexible company-specific processes that SAP does not yet address with standard software. This is where SAP NetWeaver CE plays an important role. SAP NetWeaver CE is a set of tools that gives companies the ability to compose new processes and extend core business processes. This means that these composite processes are built on top of SAP Business Suite and are extensions of SAP Business Suite. These processes are typically agile and tend to change often.
composite business processes are as follows.
Enterprise services allow you to leverage SAP solutions to include a wide range of composite applications provided by customers and partners of SAP. SAP publishes all enterprise services that support SAP Business Suite functionality at the Enterprise Services Workplace or ES Workplace site in the SAP Community Network or SCN.
Enterprise services are identified at a business level that supports business processes. With Enterprise Services Community or ES Community, SAP actively engages its customers and partners in the process of identifying and defining enterprise services. In this respect, SAP continually analyzes all business processes from the perspective of the main business drivers for SOA, such as business process automation, business process innovation, user efficiency, and flexibility of deployment. SAP defines and develops products for a comprehensive set of enterprise services to help customers, partners, and developers build flexible applications on SAP Business Suite. These services are published in ES Workplace